I just wanted to quickly show you how to make a nice custard to go with your apple pie or for anything else that you want a custard with. So for this you're going to need 600 ml of milk. I've got some semi-skimmed here, you can use full fat. You can do part cream, but in this household actually there's a lot of people that don't like cream particularly, so we've gone for 600 ml of milk. 4 egg yolks, so I've got those in there. And then we're going to want a couple of tablespoons of caster sugar and a tablespoon of corn flour. Also vanilla. Now the traditional way is to use a vanilla pod. If you don't have vanilla pods, don't worry, just a bit of vanilla essence or extract will be fine. Right, so into my pan I'm going to add 600 ml of milk. And I'm going to heat that on a medium heat. And I'm going to use some vanilla extract because I don't have pods to hand. But if you do have a vanilla pod, so it's about a teaspoon I'm putting in of vanilla there. If you do have a vanilla pod, what you want to do is open the pod up, scrape out the seeds, and put all the seeds and the pod in with the milk and let it infuse with the milk whilst you're heating it. So we're going to heat that. In the meantime, in a bowl, I'm going to add the 4 egg yolks and then 2 tablespoons of caster sugar. So 1, 2, and a tablespoon of corn flour. This will act as your thickening agent. So I'm just going to add a little bit more there because I was a bit stingy. There we go. So 600 ml of milk is in the pan, and in this bowl we've got 4 egg yolks, 2 tablespoons of caster sugar, and 1 tablespoon of corn flour. So give that a whisk up or a mix, whichever you have. It'll form quite a thick paste, I'll show you. It gets lighter as well as you mix it. So you can see in the bowl, it's a bit runnier now, I've mixed it a bit, but it's still quite thick. So just give it a nice big mix up. Make sure you've got no lumps. And then you'll have a nice pale liquid there. So that's the 4 egg yolks, the 2 tablespoons of caster sugar and a tablespoon of corn flour in there. So the egg whites, I'm going to refrigerate those to use on another recipe, so that's what I've done with those, but it's just the yolks that you're using. And we just want to heat this milk. We don't need it boiling, we just need it warm. So once you've got it to a point, which I have, that it's warm, I'm going to turn the heat off, clear myself some space so I can show you what I'm doing next. So in this bowl, I'm going to swap out the spoon for a whisk. Ooh, there we go. Let's do that. And then gradually, I want to add the milk to my egg yolks. But you want to do this ever so gradually and whisk as you go. So a little bit of milk. If you think of it like a ladleful to start off with, if you're not careful, you're going to cook that yolk a bit too fast. We don't want lumps. So mix that in. Once you've got that mixed in, you add a bit more. There we go, and I'm continually mixing this in as I pour in the milk. So whisking it as I go. And there we go, that's all my milk in. And now you can see it's all in there. being whisked. There's no lumps because I did it gradually. So now I'm going to pour it all back into the pan. So if you're thinking, why did you not just put the yolk mixture into the pan? It was because we want to avoid lumps. So we add all the milk gradually to the thicker mix, and that way, by doing it bit by bit, we avoid those lumps. So now I'm going to return this to a medium heat, and you want to cook this, stirring it until it thickens into what you will recognise as your custard. And it is as simple as that, guys. So I'll say it again, just because I know I've done it quite fast. We've got 600 ml of milk that we warmed in a pan. And then to a bowl, we added 4 egg yolks, a couple of tablespoons of sugar, and a tablespoon of corn flour. And we mixed that up until it was a pale paste. Once the milk was warm, I gradually added it. The first bit, it was a bit too thick to stir in without holding onto the bowl. So I whisked it in, and then just gradually, in one hand I was pouring the milk in, and in the other hand I was whisking the mixture in the bowl. And that way I avoided no lumps into my mixture. Once I had a nice fluid liquid, I put it back into the pan, and I'm now continually stirring on a medium heat. It might be a bit high actually, medium heat, and I'm going to keep stirring that until it thickens into a nice custard. Once you've got to that point, you are ready to serve that with your apple pie or whatever you're making. We've done a number of recipes that you could use the custard for, from Bakewell tart to banana loaf. So do go and have a look at all our other recipes, including the apple pie. Right, and that has taken literally a few minutes to thicken. I'm going to take that off the heat now and just give it a nice big stir. But that is now a lovely thickened custard, all ready to use. If you've got too much, you can put this into the fridge and bring it out as you need, but you can't beat a nice homemade custard. So enjoy, guys. Thanks.